Hello and welcome back to On the Workbench. Today we'll be talking about cold weather starting of an electric generator or a gasoline powered electric generator. So I want to go over a few tips with you on how you can be more successful if you need to use your generator in the winter. Where I live, it is currently about negative 13 Fahrenheit below zero wind chill. Coming up in a couple days, it's supposed to get the negative 35 below wind chill. And if you live in the upper Midwest this week or any other time of the year when it's cold outside or other parts of the world, these are some important tips for you to keep in mind for how you can start your electric generator. So I got a couple products in front of you. Number one, in terms of maintenance, if you got heading into cold weather, go with a 0W30 oil or a 0W40. Go with that 0 in that first number. That's going to be your cold weather viscosity. The smaller that number, if you can get the 0, will help to have the oil flow when it's cold. And that's what you're going to need to be able to deal with extreme cold temperatures. I know sometimes the manuals will say 5W30, but if you can go to 0W, but if you can get 0W30, by all means go to 0W30. Walmart is a supplier of 0W30 oil, but try to maintain that second number being correct. I know some oil purists may disagree with me on that. You guys can duke it out in the forums below, but go with a 0W number as the first digit, but then try to keep the last digit the same, because that cold flow number is what's going to be important to be able to ensure that your oil can still flow to get your engine started. Okay, number two is having some starting fluid available. The starting fluid, you can spray it into your air intake, and it's basically just trying to get fuel as quick as you can right into the engine. This is basically a spray bottle. You can get these for a couple bucks a can. Keep several cans on hand, and you can spray this in and get that immediate spark and get your engine to turn over. Okay, so those are a couple easy ones there. Obviously, changing the oil, routine thing that you do in your generator periodically. Or three, make sure your gasoline is fresh. You don't want to have 3-year-old gasoline. Have fresh gasoline for that year. Don't be running on gasoline from 3, 4, 5 years ago. Bad gasoline will destroy your engine, so get that out of your system. And the next one is just routine maintenance. And just keep it started. That an engine that runs frequently will be more apt to run when you need it most. So every time you mow the yard in the summer, start your generator. Pull it out every so often in the winter and start it and get it running. I know it's going to be a big night a couple nights from now, and so I'm going to get this started here, and I'm going to show you my technique with the starting fluid for getting this going. Also important, if you've got a gasoline powered generator, do not run it inside the garage or confined space. It needs the exhaust, and make sure your extension cords are properly rated for the length that they are. Don't daisy chain a bunch of small extension cords together if you have to use it. So these are probably the two most important tips that are easy within your control: 0W30 oil and starting fluid. This is the magic juice to make it all happen. Now let's put this in action and get my generator started, and I'll show you that it works. This will vary with your generator, but on mine I can remove the air box cover with a couple clips, and then this will get me access to the air cleaner. And then behind that is another sponge, again air cleaner filters. And if we look in here, we can see our carburetor mechanism. And so we're going to spray in the starting fluid. We're going to make sure we get that opened up so that you can see into the carburetor with that valve open. So you can see that we can move it. Maybe it's not that abundantly clear, but when it is in the run mode, will give us better access to get that carburetor fluid sprayed right in so that your engine can start right up. Also, obviously, if you've got a fuel shutoff, you have to open that up as well, and make sure any other switches on your generator to activate it. With all the switches flipped and the generator pulled outside of the garage safely, I'm going to take the starting fluid and spray it right into the carburetor with the valve open in the run position. Give that a few quick sprays. I'm going to flip the switch there, and then come over, and then I'm going to pull the ripcord a couple times, make sure everything's all in the on position. We'll give it a couple quick pulls here. See it come to life, and it'll sputter for just a moment here, as you can see there, and then it'll kind of die out quick. You can tell it got that quick burst of energy from the starting fluid. A couple more quick pulls and nothing. I don't want to flood the engine here, so now I'm going to go and grab the starting fluid and spray that back in. And with a couple more quick sprays of the starting fluid, we'll be good to go and off to the races. A couple more quick sprays here. Adjust the carburetor here.
Flip that over to the choke position. So now we're back in the choke. A couple more quick pulls and you'll see it come to life here in just a moment. See that display lights up and the exhaust is coming out to the right side. And then we'll slowly adjust our carburetor here over towards the run position. And we'll let this continue to exercise here in the cold weather. You can see the exhaust going up in the cold with the snow in the background. And then with the air cleaner box exposed right now, we'll go ahead and get the rest of the parts of that and put that back together. Only do this if you're familiar enough with your generator. You don't want to get your hand stuck in a precarious situation. And then I'm going to reassemble that, and then this will be all set to go to keep on running. And then I'll end up letting this idle here for a couple minutes to keep it warm and exercised, so that if I do need it, hopefully I won't, it'll be all warmed up and ready to go. I'll have extra gasoline in my garage that's fresh, so I've got an ample supply of fuel. And in my case, that same fuel can also be used in my snowblower, or theoretically in a vehicle, and then I'm good to go. So if you found these tips useful and interesting, if you found them useful, give it a thumbs up, and I hope you had a great day. Thanks. Bye.
Here's a look at the thermometer showing about 6 degrees Fahrenheit. Wind chill about -13.